Journey to Lemora, Chapter 3, Haunted. I'm such an idiot. I stormed into my room and threw my backpack on my bed, sending the contents everywhere. Where that light, fleeting feeling was now replaced with a white-hot sting. They're all laughing at me. I didn't dare check my phone for fear of seeing Meatball in my messages. I was mad, embarrassed, and disappointed. I finally opened up to someone about my mom, and not just anyone, but Nick. He'd been in my classes ever since we were in second grade, but not once has he ever noticed me. For just a moment, I thought he cared, that he was a friend. After all, he stood up for me. Was it all just a joke? Dad knocked at the door. "Catty, Lisa and I are going out for dinner. You kids behave while we're gone, okay?" "Yeah, sure. Have fun," I mumbled half-heartedly. I closed and locked the door from behind them, and on my way back to my room, I heard Amber call from hers. "Are they gone? We have the whole house to ourselves," she squealed. I walked into her room, the room that was Mom's office. It now had a twin-sized bed with plum purple sheets, which Amber was sitting on. Mom's old writing desk was still there, but the contents were emptied. There was a new dresser and a bunch of unpacked boxes. Amber hadn't looked up from her phone when I entered the room. "They're gone. They should be back after dinner. Don't worry, I know how to cook," I replied. "That gives us 4 whole hours. Let's invite some friends over." Amber tittered and started texting at a high speed. "Why? So you can make fun of me? No thanks," I scoffed, crossing my hands over my chest. "Aw, don't be like that. I'm sorry. Nick is too, see?" She held up her screen to show their conversation, and I squinted my eyes from the glare on it. She took her phone back before I really read anything. "Yeah, right. Anyway, Dad has a rule against having guests while we're home alone," I told her as I left her room and went to my own. I dug up the torn journal from the mess I made on my bed. The tear was about an inch deep into the spine. I could fix this with some duct tape. The pages were still all intact. I flipped it open to another random entry. "The dreams have become more vivid and real than ever. I'm struggling to tell when I'm awake or asleep. I dreamt I was swimming in Arcadia with Laksha, the mer chief's daughter. We were deep within the salty seas, and the ocean creatures surrounded us with a luminous glow. We were leagues down in the depths, way past the reef. I felt a cold chill in the water below." Laksha looked alarmed. She reached her webbed hand out towards me, and I reached back. I woke up with one hand raised, reaching out to nothing, and it took me a moment to realize I was completely drenched in water. It was seawater. I could tell from the taste in my lips and the smell in my hair. I turned and saw John sleeping soundly in our bed beside me, his shoulders heaving with each deep breath. He was completely oblivious to my water-soaked side of the bed. I carefully crept out of the bathroom and prepared a warm shower. As I washed the salt from my hair, I trembled, and my mind raced with questions. We live in the mountains, hundreds of miles away from the nearest ocean. How is this happening? I don't think these are dreams I'm having anymore, but a kind of travel magic between our worlds. John doesn't believe me. He insists I see a doctor, but I know it's real. I can't let this discovery go to waste. I will document as much as I can while this magic anomaly lasts. Her dreams of Lemora were real? Travel magic. This all sounded completely insane. Maybe Dad was right, and I shouldn't have read her journals. But part of me was thrilled at the idea. Could Mom be alive somewhere? Her body was never found after that night 10 years ago. She had vanished without a trace. Dad searched for years, but he finally got a divorce by publication and had convinced himself that she had died. It was the town scandal for a while, but posting it in the papers was the only way for him to do it since they never found her. Everyone talked about the crazy lady who abandoned her family. Dad couldn't let the gossip bother him. He was ready to move on. He had read Mom's journals too, but it's clear he didn't believe her ideas about Lemora or magic. He simply thought she'd lost her mind. My heart was racing, and I flipped to the next page when the doorbell rang. Amber jumped to answer it, and I caught her by the wrist. Her silver charm bracelet pinched my fingers. I noticed she changed into a navy blue party dress that stopped at her fingertips and hugged her curves. "We're not supposed to answer the door when Dad's not home," I warned her. "Let go. It's just Nick and a few friends from school. They'll be gone before John and Mom get home, I promise. We should order a pizza," she said, brushing me off. "We're not supposed to have guests," I said again. "Are you going to tell on me? Relax, it'll be fun. Besides, I thought you liked Nick." Amber laughed and she opened the door. There was Nick, standing in my doorway with his perfect smile and tousled curly dark hair. He wore a brown leather jacket, green polo shirt which complemented his hazel eyes, and light brown hiking boots. I wanted to be mad, but I knew I was blushing. He was huskier, but I wouldn't call him fat like Amber did. There was strength behind those thick arms and legs from years of playing on the football team. "Hey Amber, Catty, thanks for inviting me," he said. "Hey yo, let's get this party started." Sean burst in behind him, towering over us. "Come in, I'll show you around while Catty orders dinner," Amber crooned, smiling. My whole face must have been bright orange with how flustered I was. Having Nick here was one thing, but Sean was the last person I wanted in my house. After a few minutes, Amber's new friends Jessica and Avery showed up too, along with Jessica's boyfriend Tom and his friend Miguel. The house became uncharacteristically loud with all the people there. It had just been Dad and me before now, and we rarely had wanted guests. This was an invasion. There was someone poking into every part of the house, all while saying things like, "This is not how I pictured your house," and "Wow, priceless." Sean brought a portable speaker and started playing music from his phone. A couple of the girls started dancing, and Tom and Miguel hollered and started playing catch with my dad's brass eagle bookends. I asked them to stop, but they only laughed it off before moving on to something else to toss around. The pizza finally arrived and the teens all tore into it like a bunch of rabid hyenas. I wasn't feeling hungry as my stomach was in knots, and I tried to retreat to my room, but Amber blocked me in the hall. "Where are you going? This is our party. The hostess can't run off to her room," Amber said, stamping a foot impatiently. "This is your party, Amber. I didn't ask for it, and I've had enough. Let me through," I snapped. "Come on, guys, let's get her out here. Catty, Catty, Catty." Amber cheered the others on, pressuring me to come back, but I pushed past her and shut the door. "Forget her, Amber. She's always been like that. She's hopeless." I could hear Jessica's voice through the door. "What do you mean?" Amber scoffed. "She's always been a loner. I've never seen her at parties, and she definitely doesn't have a boyfriend." Avery's voice chimed in. "Everyone knows her mom went crazy. She was in a mental hospital before she ran away. They never found her body," Jessica continued. "Bro, what if, her body was still here and we're in a haunted house?" Sean joked, and all the girls squealed. "That's not funny, man," Nick chimed in. "Anyway, Catty has always been kind of weird. She's like her mom. You're better off without her." The voices made their way down the hall and out of range. Their words cut deep through me, and my insides boiled. Dad always said I was like Mom too, but he had always said it affectionately. I looked like her, and I loved books like she did. Being like Mom wasn't a bad thing to us. Why should I care what they think? They don't know anything about her. The party carried on for only another 45 minutes before our classmates started to head home. Apparently Nick stayed behind to help clean up, but he did leave just in time to miss our parents. Despite their efforts, Dad and Lisa still knew something was off. "Girls, come here," my dad called, and I left the safety of my room to see the living room. The room was cleaned in a hurry, and it was obvious because nothing was in the right place. There was a pizza stain on the coffee table, and the brass eagle bookends were on the entertainment center, nowhere near any books. A pillow Miguel and Tom were throwing was still on the floor. Lisa looked uncharacteristically mad. Her usual perky face was flushed and scowling. "So, you threw a party. Again? How many times do we have to go through this, Amber?" Lisa fumed. Come on, Mom. Last time was a goodbye party for my friends, and this was a welcoming one. There wasn't anything illegal. It was just pizza. Ask Catty. It was her idea. Amber said, convincing no one. Dad looked at me skeptically, crossing his arms. I swallowed hard and looked at Amber, who was pleading with her eyes. If our roles were reversed, Amber would say whatever got me into the most trouble. I was so mad at her too, but I wasn't going to stoop to that. It was just pizza and a few friends. I'm sorry we made a mess. Next time, we'll ask permission first, right, Amber? I said begrudgingly. To my surprise, Dad came over and pulled me aside and whispered, "How was it? Did you have fun?" "I'm not in trouble?" I said, stunned. "Nah, not this time. It's okay to cut loose sometimes. I was getting worried you weren't fitting in at school. I guess Amber's making an impression on you." "Give me your phone," Lisa snapped at Amber. "But Mom, I can't. How will I?" Amber cried. "Too bad. Hand it over." "She sure is," I said to my dad, and we both chuckled. Hello, my name is Ella, and welcome to my channel. Here I'll be sharing with you my stories, artwork, animations. If you enjoy my content, please support me by clicking the like button, subscribing, sharing, or ringing the bell for notifications. Links to my website and social media are below. I will be releasing content in sequential order, so please check for new chapters each week.